I was a serial procrastinator in the past. I remember back in high school, each time we had vacation, I used to think that I'm going to learn how to code, I'm going to go for runs every day, I'm going to hit the gym, I'm going to do this, that. I'm truly going to reinvent myself and become a whole new person. And after the vacation, people are just going to wonder who this person is. But the truth is that never happened. Like, not a single vacation reinvented me. I didn't come out of a vacation feeling like I'm a new man. No one pointed fingers at me and asked who this guy is. I pretty much ended up wasting all my vacations. 5 days went on, 10 days went on, 15 days went on, and I didn't do any of the activities that I had planned. I in fact went backwards because during the vacation they used to give us homework and assignments, and I didn't do any of that. And like 2 to 3 days before the vacation ended, I used to have these anxiety attacks. Damn it, there's so much backlog, there's so much stuff that I should have done. So that was me in the past, but that is no longer me now. I worked as a software engineer at Fortune 500 companies. I've been a top performing student at my bachelor's and master's program. And I did all these things while pursuing martial arts and creating a YouTube channel. So in this video, I'm going to talk about some of the key principles that allowed me to make this transformation and break these bonds of procrastination. And before we begin, this isn't going to be one of those cute high dopamine videos where I talk about Pomodoro technique and talk about watching anime series between my work hours. No, that's not the type of video this is going to be. This is going to be a fairly raw and unedited video where I actually talk about the practical tools that genuinely helped me. And I think they're going to genuinely help you as well. They're going to require some lifestyle changes, but trust me, procrastination is not something you can just end with Pomodoro or some weird mental framework. It actually requires real lifestyle changes. So if you're the person who's willing to do these things, let's get right into it. The first thing I realized about me in the past was that I lived life on impulse and emotion. Like, I just got up out of the bed when I felt like it, went to sleep when I felt like it, had like no fixed sleep schedule, had no fixed study hours, had no fixed time to train, had no fixed time to play. It was all based on my emotion, whims and desires. And the reason why was that I thought I'll just figure it out as the day went on. I'll figure out when I have to train, I'll figure it out when I have to eat, I'll figure it out when I have to study. But turns out I never figured it out. Like maybe 2 out of 10 tasks I got it, but apart from that, no, I skipped most of these tasks or delayed them or was not consistent at them. It's only now that I realize the importance of a routine. Like when you have a fixed time and place for a task, like when you actually sit down and write that, hey, today I'm going to the gym at 6 a.m. and this is the venue, that is the gym, then you're much more likely to do that task. Like you don't have to negotiate with yourself. You don't have to make decisions on the go. You don't have to think about 10 other things or 10 other possible times where you can do this task. It's just so simple. I am just going to blindly follow this piece of paper that says that I have to be doing this activity at this time. All the decision making, all that burden, excessive thinking is just gone. You don't have to think. Like granted, when I first started following the routine, I only hit it about with 50% accuracy. I missed like 50% of the task or mess it up 50% of the times. But that 50% beat the hell out of living life without a routine. 50% was amazing back then because I had no routine. I was at 0%. So even if you follow your routine half the time, it is still better than having no routine at all. And over time, as you get used to it, you get more disciplined, you know what's up, you know you've been very familiar with the activities that are on your routine, you will realize that your efficiency increases. It can go up to 80, 90%. So I just thought to myself, why on earth did I not implement a routine earlier? Like, what was stopping me? Why did it take me years and years to finally stick to a routine? And then it clicked. I kind of thought that a routine is a prison sentence. Like once I start living life by a routine, I'm going to have a very boring life. It's just going to be work. I'll have no spontaneity, no fun, no activities that give me pleasure, and it's just going to be a very boring life. That was like the first fear. The second fear was that, oh, what if I not follow my routine 100% of the times? That means I'm a failure, I'm a loser, and therefore I'll just crumble the routine, throw it, and go back to my miserable existence. So might as well not even begin to follow it. So I had these two fears back then in my head, and those are the big barriers that always prevented me from ever starting a routine. So let's address these two fears because I feel like a lot of other people might have them, and that is preventing them from actually starting a routine. The first fear that life will turn into a prison sentence is true only if you design a routine that way. If you fill your routine with just 45 activities placed back to back and they are all work related, then yeah, your life is gonna suck and you're probably never going to be able to follow a routine. A routine is supposed to represent your most ideal, happy, satisfying day. It's not supposed to represent a day where you just work. It's supposed to represent a very fulfilling day, a day that makes you content. So what I typically do is just place 2 to 3 or 3 to 4 core work activities, and then I fill it with things that I actually enjoy, like reading or socializing or even watching videos or even watching Netflix for 1 or 2 hours. I make it the most satisfying day that I could possibly have. So when you begin to look at a routine that way, from that lens, that, oh, this isn't my enemy, this isn't just work, work, work. This is my most happy, fulfilling day. It includes elements of socializing, it includes elements of fun, it includes elements of productive work. Then you're going to view it as a friend and not a foe. A routine does not begin to look like your enemy then. It begins to look like a friend guiding you to the right path. Like, it's like your caretaker. You actually love it. The second fear that a lot of people might have is that you might not be able to follow your routine 100%, and that would mean you're a failure. But the truth is, no one is going to be able to follow a routine 100%, including myself. And I've been living by a routine for like the last 2-3 years. And to this day, I can never follow it 100%. That's because life happens, bro. Life just happens. Some days you wake up with a fever. Some days you wake up late. Some days uninvited guests show up. Some days it's raining outside. All sorts of things can happen that mess up your routine, and it's fine. You don't have to follow your routine 100%. All you need to do is wake up and put an honest effort into trying to follow your routine. And if you wake up each day and put an honest effort, then that's all that matters. You should not feel guilty about any of this. You should not feel guilty about not following it 100%. Because no one can, no one does. It's not in your control. Some days you're going to feel shitty. Some days you're going to skip things. It's fine. The second reason why I was such a procrastinator was because I had a horrible, horrible sleep schedule. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking that, that's not me. I sleep 8 hours a day, so I'm good. Perhaps this tip doesn't apply to me. Hold on. Hold your horses. You see, I too was sleeping 7 to 8 hours a day, but yet I felt like shit each time I woke up. I had this brain fog and almost this jet lag sort of feeling, and I couldn't be productive. That's because sleep experts say that you need to sleep. That means you need to go to bed at the same time every single day, and you need to wake up at the same time every single day. It's not just enough to sleep 7 to 8 hours. Like, you can't just sleep at 2 a.m. one day and then sleep at 11 p.m. the other day and expect your body to feel perfectly fine. Because I did not. I used to sleep 7 to 8 hours, but I used to feel like shit, like constantly jet lag, constantly constantly had brain fog. And that kind of felt like I had this barrier in front of me, and that never made me want to do anything productive. Also, when you don't have like a fixed sleep schedule, when you're just doing things at random, waking up randomly, sleeping randomly, then you have a tough time saying no to instant gratification. Like, when my sleep schedule is messed up, I eat a lot more junk food, I play a lot more video games, I watch a lot of Netflix. I just feel like being a hedonist, doing lazy things, and don't actually have that burst of energy to do productive things. Luckily, one fine day I was just scrolling through YouTube and I came across Andrew Huberman, who's like the internet's most popular neuroscientist, and I came across this particular podcast of his where he's talking about sleep optimization. Like, the amount of emphasis, the amount of effort he was putting into optimizing other people's sleep. I was like, whoa, people actually do these things? Like, he was talking about when to get up and view sunlight, when to avoid sunlight, what are the best practices to eat food or fast in order to adjust your circadian rhythm, and how to get deep quality sleep. And I was like, whoa, people are actually investing a lot of time and effort into this domain. Let me try it. It took me a week to actually optimize my sleep schedule, but the results were phenomenal. Like, I cannot imagine that people spend all this money on supplements and medication and this pill and that pill, but there's this zero cost protocol called optimizing your sleep that gives you the highest bang for your buck, and people just ignore that. Optimizing my sleep has by far been like the best decision of my life. It has made me like at least 5 to 6 times more productive than I used to be. And even on these days, I cancel most of my social events that happen late at night. I'm like, you know what? I love you guys, but I need to sleep because I know my entire day is going to be wasted tomorrow if I do not get quality sleep. So that is how seriously I've begun to take my sleep, and it has yielded results. It has definitely yielded results. If you're someone who is ambitious and wants to reach his full potential and flip his life around, but procrastination and bad habits are just kicking your butt, then make sure that you click on the link in the description and book a free one-on-one call with me. Perhaps you could get that sorted.